Cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Add a Niche Agent Referral Network to your 2022 business agenda with MAPS Coach Karina Gafford. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available within 24 hours on the MAPS Group YouTube channel. You may access the YouTube channel from your Zoom confirmation email, and we'll share the link in the chat momentarily. Currently, everyone is on mute. We do value group participation. We ask that if you have questions for your coach, please type them into the chat box located in the taskbar at the bottom of your screen. Your questions will be addressed by your coaches throughout your webinar. Following the meeting, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack, FASTTRACK @kw.com. That's all from me, Karina. Take it away.
Thank you, Graham. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much. I see there's 100 folks on today. Wanted to thank you guys for taking this time to invest in yourself and in your business this close to Christmas, when I know everyone else would really much rather be watching Hallmark Christmas movies, because, you know, that's a good fun thing to do at this time of the year. So before we start, and we're going to rock and roll for about 30, 45 minutes here. And then you'll have my email as well at the end if you guys have any questions. I'm super excited about the topic. So, you know, happy to connect with you guys, but I'm going to apologize because you'll see me sipping some herbal tea here with honey so that I don't have a coughing fit on you guys, because I'm just getting over a respiratory infection. So not trying to be rude or a weird tea drinker here in the background. So I'm going to claim the host and share my screen. Can you all see my slides? Yes, no, maybe. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I can't see the chat when I'm presenting, but my wonderful assistant Darla is also on here. And so if you shoot her over a message, then when we get to a time to ask questions, she'll make sure that that we address them. So Darla, if you can watch for any questions, because I'll miss them as they're flying through. And I did see that there were a couple asked on there already that I know that we're addressing throughout the material. First thing I want to start and say, my name is Karina Gafford. I'm with Keller Williams. I'm down here in sunny San Antonio, Texas, where our little team of military spouses and veterans helped 170 military families this year. I was just looking at our end of year numbers, just buying and selling homes here. So today I'm here to ask, how many of you have your business plan already set for 2022? And it's okay if you don't. That's part of why we're here. And if you do have your business plan set, something I'm really curious to hear is, do you have agent referrals? So inbound and also outbound, but we'll address more so inbound referrals today. And then hopefully sometime after the new year, we'll speak to outbound, because it's a big part of what I do as well. As a component, so those inbound referrals, do you have those in as a component of your business? And if you do you know how to do the math on agent referrals? It's just like with cold calling. We go into any business planning session in Keller Williams or any other program that you might go into. You know that if you make 100 dials, you can expect 20 people to answer the phone. You'll set one appointment for every 3 appointments. Maybe one will close. So that kind of math exists for agent referrals too, and it's something we've kind of figured out over the last few years. And just like with cold calling, you want to pick a niche. And I saw that somebody asked, why would you pick a niche? Well, if you want to be really, really good at something where you dominate that one area, and then you can expand and grow from there, which is what we've done. We've learned one area really well and been able to expand and grow on auxiliary or related referral areas or niche areas. If you get really, really good at FSBOs or really, really good at calling expireds, that's going to be your thing. And then it'll make it easier to learn the other scripts, because you've already mastered one area. So you pick a niche you're really good at, get really comfortable, something you're familiar with, ideally, and then we'll math backwards. And I have a spreadsheet to help you with this at the end. So if you don't love math, I have formulas already in there. So it's not super complicated, because I like to keep it nice and simple. So what you learn today, you won't necessarily generate massive business from in 2022, and maybe you will. And some agents that I've worked with, they have, but if you apply what you learned today and then you start executing on it, it's one thing to learn, another to execute. It'll help build consistent business year after year. And wouldn't it be really nice to sit down this time next year or like earlier and be able to look at agent referrals and know that you can just cross one thing off your leg of lead gen or your business plan going into 2023, and that you can do that year after year, all the while you're building relationships with awesome agents that you love to work with, who like to work with the same kind of clients that you work with. So that's the direction of where we're going. Again, my name is Karina Gafford in San Antonio. You can probably see it up here on my little face screen. I'm super excited to work with you guys about adding an agent niche referral network to your 2022 business plan. And if you choose military as your niche, which is what ours is, then I'd love it if you join us in our new class that's launching in January. And it's part of, you'll see here, the new Keller Williams military segment. And it's called Building a Sustainable Military Business. Not the sexiest of business title names, but something pretty sexy about creating a business that just generates consistency in lead flow in your target market year after year after year. So, and the waiting room, Darla, are you somebody adding those folks in? I keep seeing it pop up and I just want to make sure I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, I got you, Karina. Sorry, you're good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, outline for today. So I've got a little structure for us today because in structure, there is freedom. And so we can see a direction of where we're going to go. But before we do that, I'd love for you guys to pull up your chat. I want to get some engagement going here before we get going a little more and help really quickly build some agent referral connections. So if you pull up your chat right here, everyone in the meeting, if you can see my screen, type in, as I start calling them out, your area of interest. So for me, military would be one. So how many, if you have military as a goal for building in your business this year as one aspect of a niche, historic properties, yes. As a history major, I love that. Type it in. If you have commercial as a goal, horse properties, yes, I live surrounded by a ton of those. So I'd love to connect with you on that. How many of you have luxury move up properties? Yes. What about retirees? Luxury, seniors, probate. Probate. French speakers. Yes, we're going to address international at some point in here. Luxury, seniors. What about young professionals? And at 36, I was surprised to see that I actually qualified for the Keller Williams Young Professional. So yay for another 4 years. Sports and entertainment. That's another, somebody's wrote it in there. It's another segment that's coming out in Keller Williams as well. What about Gen Z? Is anybody working with Gen Z clients yet? Okay, so hopefully, Gen Z, yes, got someone. Okay, so estate properties, first-time home buyers. I haven't seen a lot of military in there. So hopefully you've been able to find one person who shares a common interest with you and go through and shoot that person a private message. If you don't know how to do that, hover over the everyone, go down and find their name. So if it's Myrna here, I'm not sure I'm saying your name right, I apologize. Type in Myrna and then send a message and say, here's my phone number, here's my email. I'm also interested in working with military, and then call them, connect with them later, because you guys are here to pour into yourself, to invest in your business, to plan for 2022. And there's no better way to start planning than with lead generation. So, and you guys came up with so many more niches than I had even begun to consider for this list. So you guys are amazing. That is a great start. Hopefully you've each got someone now already. So help. I have no SOI. So I want to take it back a little bit here. And I want to think through, what is the first thing that everyone tells you to do in any sales business? The first thing they say is put together your SOI list, your sphere of influence. I know you on our team too. And why? Because, the agents come onto our team. It's the first thing we have them work on because it works. If you have a sphere of influence, leverage it, be in a relationship with the people who know, love, and trust you, and they'll refer business to you. So what I'm sharing with you today is not to replace your SOI relationships, but we're adding onto your business to help your business further grow. You want to have multiple legs of lead generation in your business. Sphere of influence, if you've got it, work it, keep it. If you don't have a plan for sphere of influence, sign up for a program like Bold or Never Ending Referrals. If you don't know what program to sign up for that, shoot Darla a PM and she'll help connect you over with the MAPS folks to match you up with the right class for that specific thing. You don't have to be with Keller Williams. I know there's a couple of you on here who are not with Keller Williams. That's totally fine. You could be in group coaching. One-on-one coaching is the only item that's reserved for Keller Williams. Okay. So, just so that you guys know that, knocked over my trash can, that I'm not blowing smoke with referral business. I'm going to go through and show you how the numbers work. So I have a super defined market. I don't like to veer too much outside of it unless it's a favor. I mean, if you've got your mom, your dad, your brother, your cousin, your BFF, your uncle who's looking to buy or sell a home here in San Antonio, we will absolutely help them. Are we able to make that person quiet? I can't see who that is. So I've been very heavily focused on agent referrals for the last 4 years, both inbound referrals, so folks who we're receiving from other agents, and outbound referrals. And I'm going to say I've probably connected with about 90% of y'all that are on this class at some point or another. And if not, I'll be shooting you guys an
I'm listening to a Keller Williams class.
Oh, hello. Yay.
Listen.
Okay. Where was I? Okay. So if not, I'm going to be shooting you guys an email here over the next couple of days. And would love to connect with you guys. So I'm super passionate about building business to business relationships to help bring value to those that I work with. And I remember sharing my my business plan of growing my agent to agent referral business here, early when I was getting started with a couple of folks. And I remember that one person laughed. And the other person I told it to said, "Oh, that's just a waste of your time, Karina. Agent referrals are way too expensive. You should just focus on your local SOI." Well, I didn't have any local SOI at the time. I wasn't too keen on open houses. I am now. I wasn't too keen on door knocking in the Texas heat. I got here, it's 100 degrees. It's not a fan. I had all sorts of limiting mindsets about calling FSBOs and calling expires. I didn't think there was enough of them in our market. And I was brand new to San Antonio when I started in real estate, which I'll get back to. So I got really fortunate. I had a great head start in real estate. I was transitioning out of another industry that I hated, that I had a business in, and I was fortunate enough to connect with another military spouse. So my husband was active duty Air Force. He PCS'd here to San Antonio. PCS, if you don't know, is permanent change of station. So relocating with the military, they tell you where to go. And the gal that I connected with, her spouse is military as well, and he was PCSing out, but she had been in real estate for 18 months. And she had a pipeline of about 20 deals or folks that she had who wanted to buy or sell homes in the next year that she wasn't going to be able to work with because she wasn't going to live here anymore. And so we connected. I chatted her for a few months. I took over her pipeline and it was great. And I was able to use my previous experience in business to build a little database. I started building client referrals or generating client referrals right away. She helped me generate more leads that year to get me going. But I read MREA and I knew that this wasn't going to be enough to meet some of the really big goals that I created. And if you haven't read MREA or you didn't read it this year, read it again. I read it every year and learn something or get a new takeaway out of it every year. So goose hunting. So I wondered, okay, well, where are the rest of my leads going to come from? Because this person is moving. They won't have the relationships here anymore. What am I going to do? I don't have an SOI. So I thought, okay, I'll just love on my clients. They're going to, MREA tells me they're going to sell, they're going to buy again. This is going to be amazing. And then I had my first seller client, and it was awesome because your first seller is so exciting. I love buyers, and it was great. It was military. So it was a perfect client, right in my target market. And the client said, wow, this was a great experience. And then they asked me if I could come to their next duty station with them and help them buy a house there. And I remember laughing. And then I realized that my target market had an ultimate flaw, because if I chose to just work with military clients, all my clients would move away and they would buy somewhere else. So I would never fully realize that MREA cycle of, okay, they're buying, they're going to sell. 70% of people who sell in 1 year are going to buy again, and the next year will eventually sell. And it's this ongoing cycle. So I realized they would never buy or sell with me ever again. And then I cried, because none of the training that I found at the time spoke about what the heck to do about generating repeat business from these folks who leave. They sell and they leave, especially when all of them sell and leave. And I needed a new plan. So it was around this time that I learned about referrals, as I looked for someone to help this seller buy a home at their next duty station. And then I remembered the work I'd done over the previous 4 years. I had this side hustle with a company called Military by Owner. If you're not familiar with them, it's an awesome advertising platform for military homes. At the time, they're the second largest advertising platform for the military nationwide. And I thought about how I wrote on my experience buying and selling homes, converting them into rentals as a military spouse, as we PCS'd. My spouse PCS 7 times with the military. So we got some good experience there. And I remember connecting and interviewing military families and military realtors across the country about how they worked with military clients. And it was like this light bulb went off. Oh my goodness, there are agents just like me who want to work with the clients just like I do all across the country. And I just need to find them so I can help my clients, because if I'm helping clients here, and in that first year I ended up selling 72 homes, I'm going to have a lot of folks moving to other parts of the country. Who am I going to connect them with? And so I realized if I couldn't help my clients buy again, I could still help my clients find the best fit realtor who would help them. It would generate another stream of revenue. So not as much as if I helped locally, but it helped create that second sale of the transaction from the client that I'd read about in MREA. And it worked. So I've received and referred out over 200 million in closed referrals over the last 4 years. And you'll notice I said last 4 years. So I've actually been in real estate for almost 6. The first couple of years was not super clear on what I was doing. I remember sending out 25 referrals in one 6-month period and only closing 1 of them, and not necessarily receiving referrals back. So what we'll go through today in the spreadsheet that I have at the end is what I wish I had when I was starting out with this, so that you can kind of jump forward that 2-year period where I had all those fun hiccups. But the really cool second order effect of learning how to send out referrals from my sellers who were leaving was that I'd also receive referrals in return. This has been a really huge blessing to my business and helped our growing team stay in continual relationship with amazing agents all across the country who work with the same kind of clients that we work with and who we love to work with. So the next couple of slides are what my team typically refers to as mathing your face off. So I'm going to try to not go too crazy here on the numbers. So if you'll remember, as I mentioned previously, I didn't have a local SOI. I was brand new to San Antonio. It's brand new to being a realtor. Even though I'd worked in real estate advertising and marketing for a few years, I was familiar with collaborating with businesses outside my market area for the purpose of brainstorming and masterminding. And I saw connecting with other agents who worked with the same kind of clients outside my area who wouldn't see me as competition as hugely valuable. And I wasn't exactly sure how it would work out, but I created a little goal. And in that first year, I closed 5 inbound agent referrals. Not huge, but it was a start to helping put together some processes. So as you'll see in the very first year, there were 5 agent referrals. Year 2, 8. The following year, I read a book called The Go-Giver. I love recommending books. I will drive you crazy with the number of books that I'll recommend if you ask. So I refocused on bringing value to the agents that I connect with. So I focus more intentionally on building that agent network. I've connected, excuse me, I've connected with over 2,000 agents since then. And I'd say that I'm in a solid business relationship with about 100 of them. You can only be in a solid relationship with so many people. At some point you have a capacity. So that means what a solid relationship to me means, I mastermind with them. I generally know how their business is doing. I regularly connect to bring value to them, whether it's in terms of clients that I'm referring for them to work with, or books that I'll share with them, or introductions to other agents and lenders who I think that they'll be a good fit for potentially being referral partners or connections for. So, so you'll see here year 3, 15, year 4, 30, year 5, 39. Then I stopped. So I stopped lead generating for new agent partners to be able to focus on another business this past year. And I was a little anxious about doing this. I did end up connecting with a few new folks this year, but it was not anything I was intentional about. And still, as of this week, we'll have closed 40 agent referrals in year 6. So it's not growth, but it's a different kind of growth. And I'd say, the relationships or the closings were built from mostly prior built relationships with other clients. So you could almost say that it's a passive business, but we all know that selling real estate is not actually a passive business. So I'd just be lying there. But in terms of lead generation time and building a network of agents that I connect with, my lead generation time has just dropped dramatically. When your lead generation time drops dramatically, you know that your hourly time skyrockets and it can allow freedom in other areas. And so for my particular case, that means working on another business. And I will return to focusing on building more relationships, but it wasn't what I needed to do for this particular year, which is why I'm even more excited to show you how you can do this too, because you don't have to, once you build something, you don't have to always feed it at the same pace for it to help you achieve your goals. So let me show you some of the numbers because, as an elementary school mama, I've got 2 little boys. We love some show and share around here at Karina Gafford, but I'll keep the dinosaurs and the Hot Wheels to myself for today. So what does this mean financially? Because we're here to discuss business planning and what this can look like for you. To have agent referrals is one of the legs of your lead gen stool. So our average price point is $320,000. So we might still be Austin's poor sister to the south, but we are coming up there in the world. We've grown probably 100,000 since I started in real estate as an average price point over the last 5-6 years. So our average GCI, and this is for our team. So because I'm using my numbers, our average price point is 320. Our average GCI is 8,400, 40 closings. That I had mentioned for this year, that brings in 336,000 in GCI. Not too shabby for one leg of lead gen. So the coolest part is that allows me then to turn around and send $84,000 back to my business partners. The agents who I'm partnered with who referred that business is $2,100 average per closing. So it's not costing, it's not an expense, it's an opportunity for then us to then help grow their business financially as well. Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so, who doesn't want to receive open their mailbox and receive a referral check and know that their client, their family member, their friend were really well taken care of. So for my team then, that brought in a net 252,000 in GCI. Again, that's from those 40 closings, so that one leg of lead gen. If that's all we did for the next 10 years, that's 2.5 million net GCI. And that's bringing in, what is that, 840,000 then that we would send out to our referral partners. That's a pretty good income. You can live really well on that, but that is not all. So what you'll see here, I put finding $478,800 in your pants pocket. My husband actually helped me come up with that. He's got his own quirky sense of humor. And he's our listing agent down here. So, but if you're taking good care of clients, and you should be, because these are not random internet leads, though you should take care of those too, but that's a conversation and training for a different coach. And again, if that's the question that you have, shoot Darla a PM and we will hook you up with the right coach for that. These are clients, family, friends, from your business colleagues. So they're fellow real estate agents who are trusting that you'll take really good care of the people that they really care about. And they will let you know if you don't. And I know that our processes have definitely improved over the years from some of those fun feedback calls. And if you're on this call and you're one of those agents from our early years and we're just getting started, I would be happy to chat with you and share how we've improved. We are all a work in progress. Anyway, I got distracted. So what I was saying is that if you're taking good care of these clients, you'll also earn referrals from these clients too. So let's take a look at that, and I'll show you how we turn agent referrals from just 1 year, so just this 40, how that will translate to a total of about $500,000 in GCI. So we follow MREA, Bold, NER practices. And so that's what generates client referrals and past clients. So year one with the active client, we already talked about the $336,000 in actual GCI earned from sales. But then this client referrals. So we'll expect 14% referrals in the year where we have an active client. So those 40, we expect them to share about 5 closed referrals. So times the 8,400, it's about 42,000 in GCI. In the second year, our client referrals drop a little. They're not as active in talking to their friends, family about buying, selling houses. So it's a little bit lower, so 8%. So that's 4 client referrals from that initial group of 40. So that's another 33,000. The third year, about the same again, another 8%. So 4 clients, $33,000. And then past clients. So if you remember, I shared that our niche is military. So every 2, 3, 4 years, they're moving. And so we would expect from that group of 40 that 4 folks would be selling their home. So that's 4 sales, another times 8,400. And I can do math there apparently. So in total, so 4 times 8,400, that's another, I added a 2. So not 233,000. So if I add up 33, 42 plus the initial 336,000 GCI over the course of 4 years, that's 478,800 in GCI. And obviously it can continue on from there, but I stopped because I think you get my point. I just wanted to spell it out so you could see what do agent referrals look like to you in case you are that agent saying, I don't want to pay an agent 25% for a referral. That is way too expensive. What does this look like to your business long term? Take good care of people and they will take care of you. The key part here that I don't think that I could possibly emphasize enough is that these clients are all, they're all awesome. They're our exact target market. We're connecting with agents who work with the agents that we like. So we're getting the clients that we typically work with, that we like to work with. And then their client referrals are almost always our target market too. So getting paid well is really just a big old bonus here. And now you're scaling up then your opportunity to donate, to give back, to financially model the ideal life for those that you personally care about too. So find your tribe and help your tribe find you. So now you get a good idea of what an agent referral business could look like for you. Let's consider who we want to work with and how will the other agents find us. Excuse me. Okay, so some questions to think about. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, when you think about who you want to work with, you want to consider, do they share your values? Do they share something important for me? Do they share your philosophy? An agent you're referring to, or an agent who's sending you a referral, do they share your philosophies about home buying budgets. What is most important to you? And now I'm going to ask a series of questions just for you to think about. But I have those questions outlined for you in that spreadsheet I mentioned at the beginning. So I'll walk you through how you can use that to set up your business. So who do I like to work with? Super basic question. Who do I connect well with? Do I connect really well with detail-oriented people? Do my clients need to be relationship-oriented folks? Therefore, the agents, people work with people who are like them. Do the agents that I want to connect with, they also need to be super relationship-oriented people or super detail-oriented people? What are their interests? I really like to read. Do you really like to read? Will we connect on this? Where do they work? What part of town do they live in? What do they do for fun? Do they have pets? What's their price point? What kind of lenders might I refer them to? So is it military? Is it VA lenders? Do I need to maybe reach out to some like lenders who specialize in portfolio loans for some of those luxury clients too? So then once you identify your niche, you want to update your marketing to reflect who you want to work with. So you have then this checklist, which again is in the spreadsheet. You want to make sure you're updating your logo, your tagline, your images, your copy. So when anyone looks for you, you are authentically speaking, yes, I do work with commercial, or I work with seniors. It's in all of my marketing. I have updated my Google website, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp. Maybe you spend a week in January and all you do is update these things. You don't want to work on it all year because that is not a good ROI. And you want to get back to prospecting and working with your clients, but make sure those things are updated. And then there's the how. So your step-by-step game plan for building your niche agent referral network in the spreadsheet to help you organize it all. So the first thing we're doing here is we're creating a goal. So your goal for 2022 does not have to be X number of referrals, because you might not know that yet because you don't yet know your conversion numbers. But 2023 will be. And so what I would love to do is for everyone who's on this class, reconnect later next year and have another class where it's the second part of this. How do we build that goal bigger? So your very first goal and what you're doing and getting started is building your agent partners. For example, if you have 100 agents who share your client interest target market, wouldn't you expect at least 10 closed referrals in 2023? And as I mentioned earlier, so I've connected with about 2,000 agents over the last few years, but there's about 100 that I'm in relationship with, and we closed 40 this year. So what does that math look like? So let's assume 7,500 average GCI. And that is just, I think that's around the national average. Don't quote me on that. Update it to reflect whatever is the reality in your area. If your average is 15,000, lucky you. If your average is 5,000, update it to that. Times 10 deals, 75,000 in GCI. You're going to pay your business partners, and I put in 25% because that's about the average that we see on our referral forms. Just shy of 19,000. Your net about 56,000. So that would put you at about an extra $4,687 a month going into 2023. So again, this business plan, we are looking long-term here. How are we building a business as opposed to just prospecting for the right now? 90% of agents are prospecting for the right now business, and that's only about 10% of the business that's out there. What's the long-term business and the long-term vision for your particular business? And so we spoke to this at the very beginning. Who do you want to work with? So now's the fun part. If you have no idea who you want to work with, and it looked like there was about 40 or 50 of you who commented really quickly. So it sounds like we've got folks here who are thinking about niche. But if you don't know yet, you're looking around, look at the segments in Keller Williams to start. We have Keller Williams Young Professionals, we have luxury, farm ranch, commercial, military, sports and entertainment, internationals. So what's your edge? If you're an immigrant, you're someone culturally aware, you're obsessed with the book on Kiss, Bow, Shake Hands, maybe start reading Wall Street Journal and looking for where are the countries that are having issues with investments and connect with the agents in those markets. Do they have clients who are looking to invest in a more stable economy here in the US? And, before I, totally put my foot in my mouth, I should probably disclose here that I'm an immigrant as well. So what's in what else is in your area? Are there vacation homes? Are there investor specials? Do you have a great market for folks where agents in other parts of the country may be looking to invest? Are there colleges near you? Are there condos near you? The parents who send their kids to those colleges might want to buy houses. If you have condos, who's buying in those condos? What parts of the country are they moving from? Not everyone is moving from California to Texas. There's other parts of the country too. And so where to find those agents? So start looking in Command. If you haven't gone into Command, go into the referral section. Then when you're in the referral section, go over to I believe it's called Grow My Network, and it's over on the right side of the screen. Click it and you'll be able to filter down, and you can find some of those specializations, and you can look around and find the different parts of the country. It's a pretty cool tool. Use Google. So I had a client here about 2 months ago who was looking for farm and ranch specialist out in California. And so, I couldn't find anyone. So I was looking around, literally go on Google, farm and ranch, realtor, whatever was the area of California that I can't remember, where they were looking for. And then once I picked 2 or 3 agents who I thought looked like a good fit, I want to look at the reviews on multiple third-party sites, including like Realtor, Facebook, Google, Yelp, see, what can I dig up about this agent? What can I learn more? Take advantage of networks you may already belong to. So through MAPS Coaching, so you could go into like the group and say, hey, who do you guys know who might be the best possible fit for, or who does farm and ranch out in California? And then again, do your own research. When you call the agents, after you kind of suss them out a little bit online, make sure, okay, this looks like someone I could connect with. Then ask them as well, who's the best referral partner that you have in another area that also works with whatever your niche is, clients, and then research them too, call them. This gives you somebody else to call. And then is there anyone else that you suggest? Because if you decide that you already like this person, why wouldn't you want to connect with someone that this agent that you've now connected with also knows, likes, and trusts? And so then there's getting the referral. So I want to deviate just for a second, because I know that there's some of you guys out there who probably have a question about referral groups on Facebook. And you'll see that there are some agents who get a disproportionate amount of the leads on there. And so what I'm not going to speak to is fan clubs or any fan club bashing or anything of that nature, because I know that most folks are more discerning and more intelligent than seeing, okay, 50 people have tagged this one person on Facebook. I should obviously send my client to them. No, we're going to take the time. We're referring someone who's important to us. We're going to take the time then to look and see the reviews and call them and know who's on the other end of that line. So they're only so effective. And if they are effective, it's only ever short-lived. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just leave it there. Stay off social media. It's better for your mental, emotional health that you probably don't know about those things. So if you do see that someone sends out an e-blast in Command, or you see a referral posted in a group online, hey, do you have somebody who can help, my client buy a house in New Braunfels or Austin or wherever it is? Don't just respond and say, yeah, I can help, and then move on. And don't just share your business card and expect that person to call you. Treat getting the referral the same as you would treat connecting with a prospect for an appointment. Your goal is you can't get face-to-face necessarily because they're probably in another part of the country, but your goal is to get voice to voice. So you want to find out, did this person say, send me a PM, text me, call me, email me, read what they actually wrote, as opposed to just how you want to communicate with them, because you want to communicate with people in the way that they like to receive the communication. So if they put something in like, hey, please don't call, I'm with clients all day, maybe skip that one. If they didn't say anything, call, text, email, message, whatever you think will be the most effective way to connect with this particular person. And when you do, personalize your response. How can you actually help the person they're speaking to? A lot of times there's a clue in the referral request. It'll say, I work with it's a military buyer, it's a first-time home buyer. How can you help give them the warm and fuzzies that you're going to be a great person for helping that first-time home buyer? What have you done? What business experience? What client testimonial do you have? Who in your network can you connect them with so that they can be more comfortable with sending you their referral? Because referrals are that's treasured business. It's business from our colleagues. Look at their friend list. Do you know, like, and trust, or are friends with anybody else on their friend list? Is that somebody who might be a good fit for your particular referral network? And if not, maybe that's not a referral for you. Maybe it's a referral for somebody else that you know. We can't win them all. There's plenty of business out there for everyone. So now we'll get to the spreadsheet. So I have here the 1 hour agent referral network business plan. It probably won't take you that long, but 1 hour, pretty good for setting up a business plan. So I have it broken down. And then the one thing before I show you the spreadsheet, I really want you to put, starting in January, a 30-minute calendar appointment immediately on your calendar. And I update mine every Monday, but if you could put it on Tuesday, whatever is a consistent day in your schedule where you're updating this every week, because no system will work unless you work with the system and you maintain the system. Systems, tech, it's all just tools to help us be in better relationship with people. So, all right, can you see my spreadsheet? Yes, no, can I get a thumbs up or yes or something? We do check-in Tuesday. Oh, I like it. Yes, thank you, Garrett. Okay, so the very first thing, to harp on what I was sharing with for most of this presentation, your ideal client. So this is where you'll spend about 30 minutes. Put in who you like to work with, who do you connect well with, answering these questions. Then this part here, why am I a fit? Put in your notes. Remember I spoke to earlier, how would you personalize? What's your copy and paste thing that you can templatize and you can update if you see a referral on the go? How will you share that? Who is a client who would give a testimonial? Think through who that might be so you don't have to think of it on the spot, because once the year gets cranky next year and you're, slinging deals left, right, and center, you want to make sure you have this information available so you don't have to think about it, because luck is when preparation makes opportunity, and he who is most prepared and has the most documented will win this game. So the next thing is to look at the business aspect plan of it. So the key number that you're going to put in here, and remember, we're not necessarily going in year one for how many deals will I close, because we don't know yet. We might as well put a number in so that you have an idea of how to calculate your conversion rates for 2023. So the key number you're updating is this one in yellow highlighted here. And so if you put in 10, it tells you then how many do I need under contract. Oh, that I do need to fix that math before I forget. Okay, how many do I need under contract? How many agent referral consults held? How many leads do I need to have received? So you'll see here, then it calculates to close this many, potentially I need to receive this many leads. Your numbers may be different. You may close 2 out of every, or 1 out of every 2 consults that you receive. And in which case, and I have notes up here on how do you change that if you're not familiar with spreadsheets. Maybe you would change that to I close 1 in every 2 consults, but I put it at 1 in 3 because that's a national average. And so therefore, in order to do this, how many agents do I need to add to my referral partners spreadsheet, which I'll show you down here? And how many agents do I need to connect with? Therefore, how many agents do I need to reach out to? So to get to this number, we need to know what is the activity I need to do every week. So therefore, I'm going to reach out to 400 agents over the course of the year. They're not all going to call me back. They're not going to all speak to me, and maybe they're not a great fit. And therefore, I need to reach out to 10 every week to have 2.5 conversations a week. So let's say my goal was 20. You would just update 20 and you'll see that it automatically updates the numbers for you. And then when you get your referral partners, you can put them in your handy dandy spreadsheet. I have every state broken down for you here. So let's say today in the chat, you found someone who works with seniors and they're in Alabama and they're in Mobile, and oh, I put that in the wrong name. And her name is Sally. She's in Mobile, and I put in her phone number and her email in here. And now I have my first referral partner. Then what I would do is start to build a list of potential referral partners for all 50 states. I have myself in here. I figure I made the spreadsheet. So, now you have a contact for San Antonio. And so build out all of your 50 states, because what will happen is you'll have a client who is selling their home and they're moving to Orlando, Florida. And you look at your spreadsheet and you go to Florida. Okay, you're moving to Orlando, but it says here that, my agent is in Tampa. Well, I'm going to reach out to my agent in Tampa first before I start searching and say, hey, you're so close to Orlando. Do you have a referral partner for Orlando? Or do you have 2 or 3 people that I can reach out to? Great. And so then again, research them online, look at their reviews. How active are they? And then when you find the right one, add them. And that's how you'll build your referral partner list over time with a very easy reference. If you don't know anything about Florida, you can click on any of these states and you can learn the major cities, the demographics, the favorite flower, whatever it is about Florida, so that you can actually speak to something about that state with that agent, speaks to their sports teams and everything. I did not make these pages. I just linked to them, but they're helpful. So if your goal, for instance, from your lead generation is I need to add 2.5, which is not real, but 2 to 3 agents a week to my referral partners, then every Monday or Tuesday or whatever day it is, I want to go in and I want to check, did I add 2 this week? Yes, great. And now, what do I do with the leads that I'm getting? So when you get the leads, then you'll put them in here. So let's say you get, and you'll often get more than one lead from an agent, because an active agent may be sending leads to the same area. So let's say Susie has sent 2 leads. You then want to track, because remember at the beginning I shared that we sent out 25 referrals and only 1 closed, because we didn't know how to track and how to help make sure that the process was being followed up and that we were taking as good care of our client referrals as we were with the clients that we were actively working with. So you can say you requested the referral agreement. Is it a buyer or seller? Buyer, seller. Did you have the consult? It's scheduled. What's their timeline? We don't know. Or is it more than 1 year? Are they pre-approved? Who's the lender? And once they're under contract, you can put in the address, change the referral amount. So if your referral fee is 20%, you'll see it'll automatically calculate. Referral details sent to the agent. Did you send it? Yes, no. Check sent to the agent. Thank you card sent to the agent for trusting you with their business, their client. And then did the agent confirm receipt of the referral check? Because you don't want them thinking that you're some deadbeat holding on to their referral check that they haven't yet received. Maybe that's not the nicest way of saying it, but follow up. Okay, so because you're in a relationship, and just like anything else with your clients, how do you stay in a relationship? Well, this is a really simple little way to keep in contact with these people. So let's say you start in January, then you can disregard the January follow-up, because this will be the following January. So let's say we get to February and we added 5 agents in January. Well, we can start sending out our newsletter, which could be as simple as 1 little paragraph on how's the market in your particular area. So if you're in Virginia Beach, Virginia, how's the housing market? And what's one thing of value that you can share that you've done in your business recently? Is it a link to something, a book? Is it a class that you've taken and notes from it? What can you share with of value with your referral partners? And you'll see I only put 3 of those in a year. If you're getting started, you don't want to be thinking through this every single month. There's other ways you can connect. Then go back through and take those 5 folks that you added in January and shoot them a message on social media. Then in March, you're not doing any of those activities. You might go on their page and comment on a post or send a handwritten card. In April, you might send a text. Hey, how's your business going so far? Are things picking up for the start of your season there? Assuming they're not in a winter season area. Send another social media response. And then you might call them like in May for the first time since maybe you connected with them in January. how are things going? What can I do to help you? Remind them that you're a person. Find out how you can bring value to them or what you can mastermind on together. Are they going to be at Mega Camp in August, September? Are you going to have an opportunity to meet with them? So there's so many ways to stay in relationship. So that about wraps up what I wanted to discuss today. If that was helpful, I would love to hear how you guys grow your agent referral network, what you're thinking about in terms of niches that you can work with. If it is military, again, our group coaching class starts in, which we'll send out a link to over the next couple of days, starts in January. Additional programs that will be in the military specific division will be a 30, 60, 90 program to success and a breakthrough mastery coaching program that is military specific. If that's not the niche that you're interested in, let us know which one. We'll help you get connected with the right program. To get in contact with me, here is my email and the MAPS email as well. Were there any questions to be addressed? And I realize we went a little bit over. I apologize for that.
One of the
Karina, I
questions.
have a question.
Yes.
I think someone else had a question too. I'll make it quick. So I'm based in Canada, and our city is also pretty heavy in military relocation because we do have a base over here. So I started contacting some of other agents like a while back. I felt like from the responses I got, like a lot of them have already established that network with the agents over here. So I'm just wondering how I could find my way. Sorry, what is it?
How are you trying to differentiate yourself?
Exactly, because a lot of them said, oh yeah, I'm already working from such person, or they didn't even respond to the email. So I'm just wondering how I could be connecting to those agents that they're focused on military, because that's something that I would love to grow my business at.
If you have, so there will be some relationships that'll be really hard to get in between. You might have someone that they're great friends, they trust each other with their clients, they've worked really well together for years. It could be that if they have a client who's moving, let's say it's next week, and you're available and that other agent is not, if you offer to be the backup agent, for instance, to have an opportunity to prove value, because not every agent is available every single week. So that's one potential avenue. Like how can I bring value to you? What is important to you? And how many agents are you reaching out to in order to find partners in those areas? Because it could literally be a numbers game. Are you reaching out to enough agents to find the one that's going to be the right fit for you? Because it could be that potentially, you're not necessarily connecting with the best fit agent for who you're looking to work with right away, or maybe you don't vibe. I don't know. Somebody said this word to me yesterday. They said, I feel your vibe. Like, oh, nobody's ever used that word before. Okay, all right, you do you. So it could just be finding somebody who you really connect with. How are you currently researching to find those partners?
I'm using social media, or like the hashtags on social media and Instagram. So when they call the base name, because when I put like something, I always put CFB Kingston. So people will see, I'm one of the agents working in this area. So it's really finding them. There would be some other ways to find them.
And so are you looking for military specific?
Yes.
Have you started looking in command yet as well?
No.
And do you know, so that's one, so we can write a list. What, so what base are you near?
So here we have CFB Kingston. So it's in Ontario. And then, we have bases across the country, right? Like Trenton, for example, it's like an hour and a half away from here. We have Peterborough, we have Toronto, Montreal, all of these, they are within 3 hours of us.
The top 10 places where people who are moving to your city, where they move from, what bases?
Oh, that I don't know.
Okay, so that's another potential to research. So how well do you know the military community in your area?
Well, my partner, he's a veteran, and I'm part of like some of the Facebook pages as well that we have, like that is shared only between military families. But just like what you said, it just sometimes feels like even if someone is asking for a referral, it's just always going to the same people because they've worked with so many military clients.
How many buyers have you worked with?
From military? I would say in the past year, both leases and buy and sell, it was around like 8. But unfortunately, I never got any referrals from them. Yeah.
So from those 8, how many times have you called them in the last year?
I didn't call. I just sent like cards.
Okay,
I send them cards, but like in occasions like Christmas or, but I've never actually made a phone call.
If they're all military, they all came from another duty station. Couldn't you call them in January and say, hey, just wanted to check in, wish you a happy new year. And by the way, I'm trying to grow my business. I'm trying to connect with other realtors who are near and other military installations so I can help their clients when they're moving here. I've put together some resources. If you don't have resources, go into command and look at the design section and make a guide for your area. Ask your local title companies. They could usually help, or lenders, and say, I'd love to send out some information to folks who are moving here. I need to be able to connect with their agents. What agent did you work with at that last duty station? Or do you know someone who bought or sold a home at that last duty station? And ask them who they worked with. That's how we found our first 2 or 3 agent partners as well. We just asked them, who did you work with at your last duty station? Who did you love? Who did you not love?
Yeah, actually, that's a great point, asking about like your previous realtors. Definitely. I didn't think about that. So thank you.
Of course. And so if you get stuck for ideas, pop me an email and I'd be happy to help brainstorm a list of things to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, so how many agent referral partners are you going to add in 2022, Roxana?
I want to do at least 30. And then like spread it from coast to coast. And so I already considered that in my business plan, because again, like here, military relocation is huge. And I really like the conversion rate, which is every 2-3 years, right? So
how's the investment community in your area, Roxana?
Investment again is pretty strong too, because like we have colleges and hospitals. It's a little town. It's not little, it's kind of small town, but we have a little bit of everything. It's for military, it's for investment, it's colleges, university. So we really have like a combination of things, and investment is another niche. Military, I'm better in investment, but I would love to grow more and earn business in military as well.
And then if anyone is looking for a referral partner, Roxana has a goal of 30 this year. So if you guys are looking for something in Canada, definitely shoot her a message. Thank you, Roxana. I appreciate
Thank you, Karina.
Ask so many questions. Who else has a question?
I do.
Go for it.
So Ali Kennedy, I'm not sure if you know her. She sent me here. I'm not sure if this is like the right place to like start getting my license and stuff, because I guess she said their company is offering it for free, and to join this to learn stuff.
More about building agent referrals. Awesome.
Yes.
This is a class you can definitely start building your agent referral network right now.
Okay.
If you're looking to get started in licensing, Graham, if you're still on, could you connect with Devin or Darla? If you can connect with with Devin, and we will get you over to the real estate school so you can get started, and welcome to the journey.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Any other final questions?
I'll type in the chat the email to contact for any of those kind of questions right now.
The question I did ask, I was asking in the chat about your course that you have, your group coaching course for the military. I'm here in the DFW area, so I do a little bit of relocation that have, military that is retiring and moving over to this area. However, I'm not really close to a military base. Would you still recommend your course is it going to always just be 100% focused for that military referral?
I'm so glad you asked that, and I realized I was remiss in not addressing that. Does anyone happen to know how many buyers, what percentage of buyers in any given year are active duty or veterans? No. So 2% of all home buyers in any given year are active duty. 17% are veterans. So 1 in every 5 people who are buying a home in any given year are military. So Lisa, you probably have a disproportionate amount of veteran clients there in the DFW area. And I know because I have family up there and I'm up there all the time. It's a great area. Tons of veterans that live there who nobody necessarily is asking them if they've served. So what the class will do is teach you, how do you work with the veteran market? How do you work with the retired market? How do you help somebody who maybe doesn't know how to access or leverage their VA benefits, their disability benefits? How do you truly help somebody who's served? Because, you might learn a little bit about that in tax when you're exiting, and that's it. And so how can you be that true advisor to a military client? Doesn't necessarily mean military right now. Great question.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we do ask them that when we do our buyer intake, just because, we can see that, but just to go through and know additional benefits and resources that are available would be perfect. So I'll look into the class.
Thank you. And if you know of anyone else who's working with military clients and they don't necessarily know what to do, the class is built for folks who might live near VA hospitals or clinics, or who may not necessarily know that they're working with military clients, but how to work with folks, because military retire everywhere. I never thought I would be sending referrals to, tell country out like way beyond Atlanta or, Maine or Vermont or anywhere like that, but we do. So, and on that note, we have gone over the hour and my sweet little baby is pulling up on the school bus outside. So mama's got to go be mama, but you have my email. If anyone wants to get in contact, please do. I'd love to see you guys in the class here in January. Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, thanks, Karina. Have a good